again everyone, this is ML Reads back with Chapter 6 Part B of the Elementalists Book 1 by Pixelberry Studios Choices app. If you want to watch any of the other videos in this series, I will link the main playlist in the description, and for everyone else, let's jump back in to Chapter 6 Ill Omens, and we'll continue playing. So, what's happened so far? Zeph was really excited to try out for Thief, which is the magical sport game in this story, and he invited Eli to come along to tryouts as well. However, Zeph didn't make the team, but Eli did. And now he feels bad, and Eli is wondering if she should go after him or just give him some space. So the free option is give Zeph some space, and the premium option, which as you can see I haven't taken this yet, is I need to go after Zeph. So for this playthrough we will take the premium option, which is I need to go after Zeph. Eli, Zeph, wait! You catch up to him and put a hand on his shoulder. Eli, Zeph, you're my friend. I'm not just going to leave you alone when you're feeling this bad. Zeph, are you sure you want to hang out with me right now? I'm being totally uncool, and you do not want to hear me start whining. Eli, do I really have to repeat myself? You're my friend. I want to be there for you. Come on, let's go have some lunch. You and Zeph take a seat in the dining hall, but instead of digging into his heaping plate full of food, Zeph lets out a blustery sigh. Eli, hey, I know tryouts meant a lot to you, and I don't like seeing you be so hard on yourself. But I'm wondering, and then the options are, what is it about Thief that you love so much? And then the other option is, if this is about more than just Thief. We'll go, but I'm wondering, what is it about Thief that you love so much? Zeph, honestly, it's not so much Thief, though I do really like it. It was more the idea of being on a sports team, on the sports team. Eli, so you wanted to seem cool? Zeph, no, I mean, maybe. I just wanted to be looked up to, and I wanted that camaraderie, that feeling of belonging. And athletes have their lives together, right? They've got a role to play, a goal to achieve. I wanted that, I don't know, purpose, I guess. Eli, you can't have it all together already. Hell, I'm still coming to terms with being sucked through a mirror and spat out of a lake a few days ago. Zeph laughs, and the smile lingers on his face. Zeph, it's silly, but I wanted to be that freshman who started college and was already doing all these cool things, like playing on the sports team. Eli, it sounds like you were just using Thief as a means to an end. Zeph, yeah, I kind of was. And now I can't cross it off my bucket list, which is going to bug me for the rest of the year. Eli, aren't bucket lists for old people on the verge of death? Zeph, I'm pretty sure they're for anyone with big dreams, and you're looking at the dreamer. I even carry mine around for good luck. Not that helped at tryouts. Aww. Eli, Zeph, I'm with you when it comes to feeling overwhelmed by freshman year. I'm still trying to figure out where I fit in too, but that's okay. And you know what? Maybe you were just trying to cross the wrong thing off your list today. Come on, what else is on that? What else is on it? He takes a folded piece of paper out of his pocket and opens it up on the table, then pushes it your way. You start to read it out loud. Eli, make friends. You did that the minute you got here. Confirm I'm a water rat. Also done. Pet an actual Drixmar! In all caps, with 5 exclamation marks. Zeph, I heard they giggle when you pet their trunks. They're hard to find, but I've got all year and I'm persistent. Eli, eat 20 dragon links for breakfast and breathe fire. Zeph, is that humanly possible? Zeph, that's what the rumors say, at least. You eat all 20, you breathe actual fire. Eli, I mean, is it humanly possible to eat 20 dragon links in one sitting? Those things are hot. Zeph, I repeat, I've got all year and I'm persistent. I also want to join a weirdly cool club and find somewhere cool on campus. Eli, cool club and somewhere cool, huh? And then the options are, were you on a lot of clubs in high school? Or define somewhere cool. Let's go. Define somewhere cool. Zeph, where I grew up, There's this weeping willow in the middle of a pond in the park, but the pond is always freezing so nobody goes out there. Eli, let me guess. Except you? Zeph, bingo. I waited out one day in the middle of summer, and it turns out a bunch of imps lived under the tree canopy. They were super grumpy that I interrupted their brunch, but I won them over with my stellar personality and became a regular brunch guest. Eli, that sounds amazing. I can't believe you've had so much magic in your life already. I wish I had that. Zeph, I guess it's easy to take magical things for granted if you've grown up with them. Honestly, seeing how excited you are about magic makes being at Pendergast even more magical for me. Eli, really? How so? Zeph, everything is new and different for you, and you're trying to make the most of it. If I'd been thrown into a magical world like you, I'd be freaking out. Eli, I mean, I'm definitely freaking out too, but having friends like you helps a lot. Zeph gives you a considering look, then nods. Zeph, you know what? I think you were right. Even if I didn't make varsity, I can still cross something off my list. He stands and heads to the buffet table and returns a minute later with a heaping platter of dragon links. He sits down with a grin. Dragon links, they look as hot as ever. Oh no. Zeph, I'm doing this, Eli. I feel inspired. No, I feel unstoppable. He spears a dragon link on his fork and takes a huge bite. You watch, speechless, as he quickly downs 3 links. Oh my goodness. Eli, are you really going for all 20? Should I call the fire department? Zeph's face reddens and sweat beads along his brow, but he continues eating. Zeph, come on, talk me through this. Distract me, cheer me on. I'm gonna need your help with this one. Eli, okay then, and then the options are failure is an option or give me a Z. We'll cheer him on. Give me a Z. You get to your feet and start directing an impromptu cheer session, garnering the attention of nearby diners. Eli, give me an E. Student, E. Zeph sucks in some air, eyes watering at the spiciness, but he stuffs 3 more links into his mouth with a determined expression. Zeph, Eli, give me a P. Beckett, this is beyond embarrassing. Eli, give me an H. R-A-H. Zeph, Eli, I can't feel my tongue. Eli, Zeph, look. You point toward his empty plate and he looks down at it, sweat running down his face. He swallows his last mouthful with a wince. Zeph, holy, I did it. I did it. He suddenly claps a hand over his mouth. You push your chair back, the legs squealing over the floor. Eli, you are not going to hurl. Zeph lets loose a massive belch and a tremendous stream of fire rushes out of his mouth. Zeph, and it's like fiery. You duck away from the intense heat. When his fireball dissipates, Zeph thunks his head down onto the table. You can just decipher his mumble. Zeph, I think that's the closest I'll ever get to being a fire rat. Eli, how do you feel? Zeph lifts his head, and though tears run down his cheeks, he smiles brightly at you and speaks in a hoarse voice. Zeph, like a champion. If I'd made varsity, I wouldn't have learnt that I have an actual bionic stomach. You hear the noon bell chime through an open window. Zeph sits up straight. Zeph, class starts in 10. I've got to go. Thanks for lunch, Eli. He scrambles to his feet, slinging his backpack over his shoulder and snatching up his bucket list. You call after him as he starts to rush away. Eli, hey, remember to cross this one off your list. Zeph, you know it, and remind me to get your help with the rest of them. He sends you a wave and disappears into the hall. You finish your lunch before returning to your dorm. You're passing through the foyer when Shreya comes flying down the stairs, her hair streaming behind her. She leaps the last 2 steps and almost runs straight into you. Eli, watch out! You catch her by the waist and she grabs your shoulders to stabilize herself. As her momentum spins you both around, she lets out a breathless laugh. Shreya, whoops! Sorry about that. Don't let me trample you on my way to lunch. She steps back from you and fixes her windswept hair. Eli, you are sprinting to lunch? Shreya, do not judge. Rumour has it that Chef Gilles Saint-Bontré is catering today. He has 3 Michelin stars and 5 Dieu vrai goblets. He made the menu for my Sweet 16 gala, but we had to get on the wait list for 2 years in advance. She suddenly realizes how you're dressed. Shreya, oh, were you, doing some sports? Eli, I was at Thief tryouts. I made the team, but... Shreya, no way. I heard Pendergast goes all out for Thief. The parties are everything. You're gonna be campus famous. Eli, Shreya, listen. Something seriously weird is going on. You tell her about the events of your day so far. As she listens, her smile falls away. Shreya, do you think Asta was trying to tell you about your reflection coming out of the lake? Or something else? Eli, I think... And then the options are, I want to stop thinking about it, or I need to look for answers. Let's go, I need to look for answers. Enough of this, I'm just gonna try to blend in approach. Keeping my head down hasn't done anything for me so far. More and more bad things have been happening. If I don't take action, I won't stand a chance against whatever's coming for me. Shreya, spoken like a true fighter. So, what's the plan? You let out a heavy sigh and rub a hand down your face. Eli, I don't know. Hartfeld wasn't for me, but at least it wasn't dangerous. There weren't any magical forces out to get me. How am I supposed to know how to handle this? It's not like I took a Fighting Mysterious Evil Forces 101 class. Wait, do they have that here? And are they called Defense Against the Dark Arts? Shreya, no, but I'm here. With me at your side, some wispy little shadows and a gloomy reflection won't be a problem. Trust me on this one. You start to smile and Shreya sets a hand on your shoulder. Shreya, I don't want you to lose all your wonder for the magical world yet. I'll make sure this place stays special for you, and that means helping you stay safe. And if there's one person you can count on, it's a mystery. The magical community's most trusted helping hand since 1202. Eli, Shreya, have I ever told you how much I appreciate you? Or, I sure hope you're right. Let's go. I sure hope you're right. Shreya, of course I am. That's literally our company motto. Eli, no, I mean about that shadowy creature and my weird reflection not being a problem, because they're pretty ominous to me. Shreya, relax. My intuition is never wrong, and it's telling me that you'll be A-okay. And if I am wrong, well, I recommend not filing a lawsuit. My parents have pretty good lawyers. You both laugh, the warm sound ringing through the sunlit foyer. Shreya, you know what? The dining hall just won't cut it for lunch today. A Gillespie Saint-Montreux meal needs more ambiance. Eli, what are you saying? Shreya, I'm saying, let me take you on a picnic. We haven't tried all the knobs on our portal door. Let's sneak some lunch out of the dining hall and eat somewhere new. Eli, I kind of just ate with Zeph, though. Shreya, but did you have dessert? Because that's what I meant by lunch. Gillespie Saint-Montreux is all about the sweets. Eli, I always have room for dessert. This is true, there's always a second stomach for dessert. Eli, I guess a change of scenery would be nice. Campus feels more and more like a nebulous force for evil. Shreya, if anyone deserves to get away from campus for a relaxing, worry-free picnic, it's you. Plus, you'll have my stellar company, and you can try all of my Saint-Montreux favorites. Tutorial. Unwind with Shreya after a packed morning, enjoy some magical treats, and get a glimpse into her life that you haven't seen yet. And here we have another premium option scene. Sorry. And the free option is a picnic with you, maybe some other time. And the premium option is I'd love to. And of course, we are going to take the premium option, I'd love to. Shreya, that's music to my ears. Come on, help me sneak out some food. I've already got my mystery 3-shelf pantry bag, refrigeration unit included. The two of you duck into the dining hall, where you hand Shreya a multitude of treats that she slips into her bag. Your heist complete, you make a hasty exit. Classic uni students. In the common room, Shreya double-checks the contents of her pantry bag one more time. You peek in and see neatly organised shelves covered in fancy platters and fancier confectionaries. Eli, I don't think they're going anywhere, Shreya. Shreya, I just want to make sure they won't fall over. Half of the Saint-Montreux experience is the presentation, after all. Eli, okay, well, at least let me get changed first. Shreya, nonsense, you look great. Now, after you, my dear, the third handle from the top. You open the portal and step into the swirling vortex and emerge in a quiet meadow. Birds and squirrels chatter in the treetops. In a nearby grove, a group of Pendergast students stands around a snow-white tree. Sparks of colourful magic pop around them as they examine the trunk and foliage. Eli, where are we? Shreya, at the base of one of the school-sanctioned hiking trails. A lot of the environmental classes do fieldwork in the area as well. It's the perfect place if you ever need to step out and take a breather. Shreya takes a seat in the grass and pats the space beside her. Shreya, but we're here to get our sugar fix. I want you to try a fruit frangle puff, a dragon's delicacy, and a Saint-Montré eclair, of course. She pulls the platters out of her bag and sets them carefully in the grass. Shreya, the surprise is they each have a different magical effect, but I don't want to spoil them for you. Go ahead, pick one and find out what happens. Eli, this is safe, right? I'm not going to explode or lose my tongue or anything. Shreya, you are so dramatic. They're 100% safe, 200% delightful. I'll start with, and so the choices are a dragon's delicacy. Ooh, they look like little cupcakes. An eclair, of course, or a fruit frangle puff. Ooh, okay. They all look yummy. Let's go for the cupcakes. A dragon's delicacy. Eli, but why are there three, and why do they just look like cupcakes? Also, what is it about magical food and dragons, and will this set my stomach on fire if I eat it? Shreya, you're totally safe, cross my heart. The dragon's delicacy, also known as cupcake roulette, comes in sets of 3. 2 are a fluffy cake with a berry filling, and 1 holds a surprise. Eli, should I be worried? Shreya, oh Eli, have a little faith in me, and in Chef Gilles Saint-Montré. You choose a delicacy and take a bite. A hint of raspberry melts into the rich, cinnamon-tinged cream and airy pieces of cake. You swallow, thinking you chose a non-magical one, when you suddenly let out a roar that echoes throughout the valley. The students pause their fieldwork to look worriedly your way. Eli, it's fine, I'm fine, I hope. Shreya dissolves into giggles, wiping crumbs from another of the delicacies off her chin. Shreya, oh my god, your face! She suddenly lets out a roar of her own. Shreya, oh, someone must have switched the delicacies around in the dining hall. But now you know the surprise. As you can imagine, they're a real hit with the kids. Eli, now that's one fancy mouthful. You're quite the dessert connoisseur, Shreya. Shreya, what can I say? I like the finer things in life. My sister ate all the leftover eclairs the morning after my birthday. I was so mad, I didn't talk to her for a week. Eli, you should have labelled them birthday girls. Touch them and you'll feel my wrath. Shreya, that's exactly what Nehal said. She didn't even get in trouble for it. Our parents thought I was being overdramatic. Eli, it sounds like your sister pulled the perfect eclair heist. Shreya, that's Nehal for you, always doing things perfectly. She's an air rat, thinks first, acts second, knows just the right thing to say or do. Can rationalise her way out of anything, has never been a problem child. Eli, you and Nehal, and then the options are, do you get along, or do your parents expect the same things from her, or sound like total opposites? We'll go, do you get along? Shreya, we get along really well, actually. Sure, we bicker and stuff, but that's just what siblings do. We have this Sunday ritual of marathoning the week's most garbage TV shows all day long. Our favourite is My Attuneless Half-Boyfriend. Eli, sounds like attuned junk TV is just about the same as what I'm used to. Shreya, it's deliciously contrived. Nehal and I live for it. Shreya digs her fork into a flaky, layered confectionery of golden crust and thick red filling. When she speaks again, she looks pensive. These sweets sound delicious. Shreya, in a way, Nehal is my rock. She cools my flames, but she also makes me feel like the cool older sister I try so hard to be. I just hate when people compare us. And by people, I mean our parents, when the whole carry on the family business thing comes up. Eli, it sounds like your parents believe in you though, even if their goals for you aren't the same as your own. Shreya, I appreciate that they see potential in me, but I should be allowed to pave my own way. My youth is about figuring out who I am. Even though I still don't really know who that is. Eli, hey, if anybody's got themselves all figured out as a freshman in college, they're the odd one out. I had a very similar conversation earlier, so I know you're not the only one who feels overwhelmed. I'm still figuring out where I fit in, and don't even ask me about my future. I have no idea, which means I have so many options to explore. Shreya, I hope that when Nehal goes to college in 2 years, she'll set out with the same mindset. I want her to thrive like I am here at Pendergast. Eli, Shreya, and then the options are, what's your life goal? Or, I can see you in a leadership position. What's your life goal? Shreya, so dramatic, Eli. My entire childhood was about preparing for one set-in-stone future. I just don't believe that anymore. It goes against human nature. Eli, what makes you say that? Shreya, we humans are such flighty creatures. Our emotions jump around all the time. We develop interests, lose them, figure out we suck at things we like, or excel at things we never considered before. I've found that it's much easier to navigate life by ditching things like life goals and setting daily ones instead. Eli, then tell me what today's goal is, at least. She gives you a devious smile. Shreya, today's was to make you smile, and I've succeeded many times over. Thanks, Eli, for being a good friend, and for, being so chill about my big personality. I'm sure it can get a little overwhelming. Eli, never! It's one of your greatest qualities. I should give Shreya a hug or give Shreya a random pastry. I should give Shreya a hug. You open your arms wide. Eli, come on, this definitely feels like a moment to hug it out. Shreya opens her arms as well, and you give each other a tight squeeze. She's smiling brightly when you let go. Shreya, phew, I feel a lot better after letting all of that off my chest. You're a great listener, Eli. They're cute. Eli, I hope I'm a good cheer-upper and advice giver as well. Shreya, second to none. When it comes to enjoying desserts, however, I'm sorry to say that I won't be beat. You and Shreya slowly work your way through the rest of your desserts, talking and laughing all the while. After dropping Shreya off at her next class, you head up to your dorm to change out of your thief gear. Your thoughts return to your reflection, and after a few minutes, you find yourself at a dead end in an unfamiliar part of the school. And it's like this hallway that looks the same as the others, but also not the same. Eli, what is with today? Have I racked up some bad karma without realizing it? Sudden sound, shriek! Eli, what the? You spin around just in time to duck as a shadowy figure hurtles at you. Shadow monster, screech! It's nothing like the first monster you faced. This one is taller, looming over you with deadly claws extended. A sinister darkness begins filling the hallway, as though evil itself is radiating from its body. Suddenly it lunges at you. Eli, holy! You barely manage to throw yourself out of the way. Shadow monster, screech! Eli, I can't outrun this thing. Tutorial. Throughout the story, you'll have chances to use specific spells you've learned so far. Can you defend yourself against the shadow monster? Unlock all spells to reach your full potential. Okay, I should use the flame spell. Remembering your first lesson, you try to focus on conjuring fire into your palms, but your heart is racing and you can't gather your thoughts. Shadow monster, screech! Eli, Butterball, I need you! Butterball materializes beside you, and you immediately feel him channel his magical energy into you. Butterball, roar! Eli, you're going down, monster! With Butterball's help, a roaring ball of fire appears in your palms. You throw it at the monster, and the flame disappears into its shadowy body. Shadow monster, grah? Eli, it worked! Shadow monster, grah! The fireball passes right through the monster and burns out against the wall. Butterball, The monster shakes off your magic, then flies at you again, its shriek jarring your teeth. Shadow monster, screech! All you can do is throw your arms up to defend yourself. You catch a glimpse of Butterball leaping in front of you to protect you. No, Butterball! Butterball, growl! Eli, Butterball, no, get out of the... Professor Swan, be gone! Professor Swan skids to a stop in front of you and Butterball and casts a blinding white light. When your vision clears, Butterball races to your side, shaking in fright. Butterball, and he looks scared and sad. His shivering form disappears into the other, and you see the nearly shapeless mass of the monster on the ground, its shadows roiling weakly around it. Professor Swan motions you frantically after her. Professor Swan, Eli, follow me. There's no time to lose. You start to follow her down the hall, but notice something glowing in the monster's vague form. Its glow dissipates as you bend down to examine it. And then it's this red rock, a rough rock. Collect it. You slip the rock into your book bag. As soon as you do, the shadows dissipate, leaving no trace of the monster behind. Professor Swan, Eli, please, you're in grave danger, and you must follow me if you want my help. You scramble after Professor Swan, the mysterious rock heavy in your book bag, the promise of answers finally in sight. Ooh, and that is it. That is the end of chapter 6. And that's the end of the chapter. Finally, Professor Swan reveals herself. What will happen next time? Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you're enjoying these so far. If you are enjoying these videos, please consider giving them a like. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you all next time for the next one. Bye!